What's up guys, and welcome back to the channel. Today is bench press day. I thought I would speak my thoughts over the videos instead of having an intro video every week or every single session. So let me know if this format is one that you prefer or not. Leave a comment down below. I'll make the format the way that you guys prefer. I slept well last night. My ZMA seems to be doing the trick. I feel quite well rested, although when I do wake up I feel a bit tired. I just think that my short amount of sleep interrupts the cycle of the ZMA, so I do wake up a little bit tired, but within a couple of minutes of drinking some water and walking around, I feel well rested, and I think that my sleep quality is quite a bit better. So yay for that. I woke up this morning thinking my legs were going to be screaming at me, but surprisingly my calves were actually quite okay. Yesterday after my 10k run I was walking around like a penguin. So yeah, I was a bit nervous that I would wake up with sore calves, but surprisingly they feel pretty good. So I'm recovering quite nicely at the moment. I suppose the sleep doesn't hurt either. Today on the bench press is 3 repetitions, obviously an AMRAP for the end. The weights at the moment are still warm up and they felt quite light to me. I feel like I have quite a lot of control of the bar at the moment. With each rep I'm trying to bring it down to my chest, pause it, and then press up. Trying to be somewhat explosive on the up movement and nice and slow on the concentric. I feel I need to work a little bit on my endurance, although the AMRAP is me working on that endurance. As you'll see in the video, the weight is quite easy for me, but I do burn out quite quickly. It's perhaps just something I'm not used to, and being week 2, or only being week 2, I think I can only progress from here. Hopefully when I do start lifting heavier numbers for my 1 rep maxes, it shouldn't be a problem. I just feel that the AMRAPs are quite exhausting and my muscles do start to fail quite early. This set over here would be my AMRAP, 85 kilograms. According to my app, if I do beat my set number of reps, which is 11, then I can increase my PB for next week, or my training max load. I could have probably paused on my chest a little bit longer, but I was more focused on getting the reps out, as I don't feel the weight is necessarily a problem for me. Still had a really good control, and I brought the bar to my chest every single rep. As you can see, the bar starts to slow down on the concentric movement. This is the fatigue that I was talking about, but I persevered, took a slight pause at the top if I needed to, just carried on. In the end, I got 12 repetitions, which beat the 11 that my app was asking me for. So I was quite chuffed with that. So next week, my 1 rep, or my training max for bench, will increase from 97 to I think 101. I'll just confirm that with you guys. On to some accessory work. Excuse the lighting and angles. I'm still kind of trying to figure out how to use the camera here. Finding the right spots, the right lighting. I prefer using the T-bar row as opposed to something like a bent over barbell, which is something I would have used in the past, just so that I can limit my posterior chain fatigue with my chest being supported, by the bench, I'm able to isolate my lats and not tire my back out for squat and deadlift day. This is, like I said, an accessory work, so I don't necessarily want to be trying to pull as heavy numbers with barbell rows, which does put a lot of overall body stress on you. I started with about 30 kilograms on the T-bar row and increased it to 45 kilograms for my last set. As you can see, I'm always trying to stretch the bottom half. I know a lot of people think that you shouldn't be stretching and keeping your chest tight, but I feel that full range of motion can only be beneficial to me. Here's a bit of a better angle for you guys to see it, keeping my chest on, stretching my shoulders, getting that bigger range of motion. Although I do have pretty long arms, my range of motion is always going to be quite long. But I'll just drop the weight and do it properly. Quite happy with that. Don't feel that these were too tiring for me. But that's not something I'm trying to do at the moment. I'm trying to just really focus on improving my compound lifts. I'll work a bit more on accessories in the future, adding a few more sets and reps if need be. Bench press or flat dumbbell chest press. But for the sake of a little bit more shoulder and chest development, I decided to add a incline that's not quite as steep an angle like an incline bench would be, just a little bit. I also decided to stick to 12 repetitions this week instead of 15. With dropping the reps, I wouldn't fatigue as quick and I would be able to get a few more sets in, or at least one more set in. Last week I only managed to get 4 sets in and then I was pretty fried, so I decided to stick to 12 repetitions and aim to get my 5 sets in. And of course, first few being incline chest press, there is a little slightly higher difficulty factor. Like with all my movements, I generally try to keep as big a range of motion as possible, so I try to bring the dumbbell to my chest. As you can see, my elbows are lower than parallel, or even lower than my body. I feel that stretch the bottom half is quite important for not only muscle development, but also your strength, especially if there are going to be rules in powerlifting where I've got to bring the bar as low as possible. I don't want to have to be in the habit of doing half repetitions or only doing the top half or bottom half. I need to build that muscle memory that it just becomes second nature to go as deep as possible and lock out. I did rest a little bit longer in between my sets, probably not quite as long as prescribed, but a little bit more than last week, and I feel that it did make a difference. I didn't feel as fatigued or fried or exhausted for my next sets. Here I move on to the flat dumbbell chest press. I didn't want to leave it out completely, so I decided just for the last 2 sets I would do the flat bench press. Just trying to do a little bit of breathing and stretching over here. Also just psyching myself up. And here's the final chest press accessory and total accessory for the day. Still getting as deep a stretch as possible. I could feel my triceps started to fatigue over here. But I decided to go as hard as I can, just get the reps done. Like with most lifting, it's a bit of a mental game as well. Yeah, decided to show you guys what I look like. Felt really pumped when I got home from gym. Although I did cool down a little bit in the car on the way here. I'm blind here, so that's why I'm squinting. At the moment, my weight is about 84 kilograms. As you can see, I'm actually really lean at the moment. Leaner than I've been in a long time. I really got to get that chest of mine shaved. I'm sure you'd see a lot more muscle definition. Overall, I've been pretty happy with this week so far. There's one more day left, especially since I got a 10-kilometer run in. I feel that my fitness level is definitely improving and I'm getting stronger every week, so I think it's a win-win at the moment. Prove myself that I'm able to do 2 different sports at once. And even though I'm not focusing on any kind of bodybuilding or hypertrophy type training, I still feel my body is in really good shape at the moment. This outside lighting is great. But yeah, that chest hair has got to go sometime. Looking really veiny at the moment. It's a good sign of leanness. This was just to show you the inside lighting. Veins are really starting to become exposed. The difference between me being cold and flat and pumped is quite huge. Here I try to flex as hard as I can. Popping the veins. Awesome. Guys, I'll see you soon.